Welcome, everybody, to Bible Bites. I'm Pastor Dan. We are reading through the Bible one small bite at a time. Today we find ourselves in Matthew 18. We're going to pick up in verse 15. In the previous video, the previous reading, we saw that Jesus cares, that the Father, our Father in heaven, the Creator, He cares for His family very much. And He cares for even those that will go astray. And is willing to go to a great distance to find them, to set them back on His paths. And so in this passage, this teaching of Jesus, we see a picture of God's family and how we respond to one another. If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. The reason for that is we're trying to encourage and bring reconciliation between us and a brother, between a brother and others in the family of God. We're not trying to embarrass, right? So if he listens to you, you have gained your brother. We have helped our brother, right? We've, again, helped restore them. Reconciliation, between a reconciliation of fellowship. I think that's a good way of understanding, of saying that. But if he does not listen, take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. Now, in Jewish law, two or three witnesses was required, really, to make a judgment. So it would be important that, Jesus is saying take 2 or 3. So there's that a judgment can take place. It has become a serious matter now. And again, the goal still is reconciliation. We're not just trying to lord it over somebody, but there's sin that has impacted the family of God, and we want reconciliation. We want certainly someone to recognize their sin, to confess it, but to leave it behind. And 17, if he refuses to listen to them, then we tell it to the church. So this is the local, I'd say the local church, the family of families, a group of people forming a local assembly. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Well, what is a Gentile and a tax collector like to the family of God? Well, they're not treated badly, but they also do not have fellowship in the family of God. They don't have fellowship because they're not part of Jesus Christ. They are not part of the Spirit of God. Neither do they have the mindset of the Spirit of God, but they're adamant of just continuing in their sin, of suppressing truth, of denying truth. And so we just don't have fellowship with them. And I believe that is what Jesus' teaching here is pointing us to. He's not saying treat them badly, in that we cause them problem or harm or anything like that. We still love them, but we recognize there can't be fellowship if they are unwilling for reconciliation to take place. Again, I say to you, if 2 of you agree on... back up. Verse 18, truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Now, I recognize there's a lot of different ways to take this, a lot of different ways to understand and perceive what Jesus is saying here. So I'm going to leave it at this statement, that what we do on earth does have impact in the spiritual realm, in the heavenlies. And so when we try to bring about reconciliation, when there is fellowship here on earth between brothers and sisters, between the family of God, when we've helped and encouraged a brother or sister, that matters spiritually. Again, I say to you, if two of you agree on earth about anything they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where two or three are gathered in my name, there am I among them. Now, is God ever not in our midst? I don't think so. Excuse me. I believe the Father isn't saying, only when a couple of you are gathered do I actually become part of the, only then is my presence available to you. I don't think that is the case, but there is a distinction when we are together, when there's a fellowship, right? And that's where it talks about, where they're gathered in my name, when there's reconciliation, where there's fellowship. That fellowship is sweet and meaningful to Jesus, so to God. And it is in that fellowship, it is when we share our joy, and even in our suffering together, that there's something special that takes. Excuse me. There's something that takes something special that takes place there. I think that it pleases and honors the Lord. It is, Jesus says that the world will know us by our love for one another, and so I think that is part of what Jesus is teaching us here. All right, well, I look forward to being with you in our next video, where we will look at the parable of the unforgiving servant, as you can see titled or heading there for next video. All right, be blessed, and we will see you in our next video.